Alright, so we're going to go through our exterior. This is just going to highlight some things on here. So this does have like some scratches on this trim plate here, but nothing really beyond that, so it's good. It's doing its job. All lights and everything work as intended. Tires are great. These Michelin Cross climates do really good in our area up here. We just have a lot of like dry spells, and then it'll get really icy and snowy out of nowhere. So it's good to have like a good tire that's not too aggressive. Paint's in really good shape. It's pretty dirty right now, so we've had like some rain over the nights, so it's hard to keep these looking pristine with like the rain at night and then all the dust settles. On the front here, you did have some notes. There's some damage here in the bumper, and then you can see that good sized dent is still there. It actually wasn't, I don't know if this is the same one, but there's one there. Scratches on there as well. There is some chipping kind of throughout the whole front here, but nothing like crazy. For our area at least. Lights and everything are in good shape. Mirrors aren't really chipped up or anything. Glass is not chipped. Looks really good. And then as far as on your crossbars, there's nothing up there. It's mainly just the roof rack. They don't have bars that go across equipped on this, so they probably didn't use it. You'll see, let's see if I can just pop this. Be a good way to show you. When they did the clean, when they did their wax, there's this white residue on all your edges. That's from the wax when they do the detail. This is that capless gas cap. That's just wax when they do it. Some of the detail guys will take the time to clean all that. Some guys are just so slammed and trying to get stuff done, they don't really get the fine touch on that stuff. I wouldn't worry about that. That's just cleaning. That's not really like repair of damage or anything. The dust inside is what gets me. I definitely would have some questions if this was just left open, or if they had it in body for a while or next to body, or why is that like that. It's all in the carpet and everything, so the outside's not too bad. You'll see here, you know, there's some dimpling here, but paint's all good. These doors have not been removed. There's no signs of like it being touched up. It just looks like stuff got in there. It's really minor, the amount of like dings and dents. In the front, those two are pretty much the majority of it, and then that little hinge spot there. So not too bad. Wheels are in good shape, so pretty good looking rig. I like the color. It's like a deep cherry. Gonna move forward here. Let this focus here. So I've been trying to make sure we get a startup on these guys so you can hear if there's any kind of tick or any kind of exhaust from, usually the passenger bolts will break on these guys. Overall, engine bay has been cleaned up really well. They usually go through and do this touch-up stuff on it. I didn't find any real concerns on the engine bay for the most part. A couple notes. Brake fluid's starting to get a little bit discolored. That's normal. Moisture over time. It's just doing its job. Supposed to service that every 3 years or so, so you're right in that time frame. Pocket in here, I was able to, when the door was open, see the cabin filter was serviced recently. Everything down here looks really good. It's hard on camera sometimes, but this here is the frame essentially on these cars that goes through here. I always look if any of these clips have been removed or bolts have been undone, and then if there's any wrinkling in there, it just shows that they're like hiding a wreck and they straightened her out. Both sides. Right down here is where we're looking again, so right there. Nice and straight. Filters, like I said, it's already been through recon, so they've changed out all the filters on this thing, went through it. Looks really good. You can kind of see like there's some dirt and stuff built up in there, so it was probably on like a dirt road climate most of its life. Just, you get signs of it, like all the dust in here. Some of it's in the door edges, up in the hinges here. But it's not like packed with it, it's not caked. You can see more evidence here in the latch. But overall, engine bay is pretty good. Nothing really stood out to me as far as concerns. Cold start was really nice on this, no tick on there either. Alright, so we always do an undercarriage. I start from the front like this. I always like to look and make sure we don't have anything hanging down, sagging, or loose down here. This hole in the skid plate is only on the, so you have a Hemi, so that's where your oil filter and drain plug is. If you had the V6, that would be closed off, because it's further back. Looks good, nothing wet down here, that's always a good sign. We're gonna just kind of move around the vehicle and just touch on a few points. Alright, so we are at the driver front corner here. Here's your lift point, where your subframe bolts to the body or frame. It's kind of a lot of complications here. And then your transpan right there, front driveline there, all dry, it looks good. Drivelines always look kind of rusty. It's because they're made of like a more stout steel and they're not really treated with like the alloys. And then moving along here, pinch weld's in really good shape. I always stop at these, so this is going to be your rear lift point, and your fuel filler is really close. I did work at the dealers, and some of the times the guys would rush and just smash these, so that's something to kind of keep an eye on. Like if you're pushing into a slope or a ledge, or you're bottoming out this corner here, your fuel tank is right there on the back of this thing. There's no skid plates. It's a saddle tank because of the driveline and exhaust, so it goes to both sides, and it fits frame to frame on these guys, so keep that in mind underneath here. All right, this is going to be underneath, so the floor pan underneath your spare essentially, mufflers, factory, exhaust and everything, and your rear subframe is in great shape, nothing rusty. All the bushings look really nice, no cracking I can see. This does have the factory hitch install with 4-pin 7-pin. And we're going to keep moving to the passenger side here. Alright, so we're on the passenger side. Here's that lift. There's that fuel tank again. So it's the whole rear bottom side of these guys. And then exhaust. They call these suitcase. It's like a resonator before the mufflers. So it's just to kind of keep these Hemis kind of quiet. Otherwise, you've heard the performance Hemis, they're loud. And then up here on the front, looks good. Get in here. It's going to be your subframe on this side. Transpan again over here. Looks really good. All checks out great. Alright, so we're on our interior portion. I always start here at the wheel. Just kind of give you, that cockpit feeling. So we have our cruise control, no adaptive option on here. Phone controls, voice commands, and then your info for this screen up here. Your volume, source, and then current mileage. We're just under 60,000 miles at the time of service. Brake light on, seatbelt light on because I pushed the brake on for the parking brake test, and then I have my seatbelt off. A little red guy down here. I have all the doors open right now, which when I go from this point, you'll see. I like to go from an outside in on the rest of the car. Your bigger screen on here. Climate is still knobs and buttons. You do have Sport, Eco, Park Sense, and then traction control here. This does have a 4-low transfer case, and then all the modes. This here is the neutral button. That means you can put this in for towing. Automatic with the manual shift, all works as intended. And then this guy, you have your charge ports, and then your 12-volt, I believe. It's just a flapper. There you go. And they still have the plastic on here, which is awesome. I'm one of those guys too. I leave the plastic on all my screens, but that's awesome. This screen does not. It does have the SOS power mirror for like dimming and all that, and then automatic sunroof. It is just a sunroof. It's not the whole top, the moonroof, or however you like to call that. Well, there was a specific note to check on those heated seats. They were great. It does have a heated steering wheel as well. And then climate control, you can kind of go back and forth, pick the right side for what you like. And then this does have all the internal apps here, and then your navigation. Let's just see. So it knows where we are. It's not lost or out in some other place, which is good. Zoom goes in and out. And then last thing here, backup camera's gonna be looking at the sky because I have the lift gate open currently. Does have park sense too, so it kind of beeps at you and everything as you get close to things. We're gonna pause here, open up all the doors, and look out in. All right, so driver front door here. The sun's just really out today, which is great to look at the car, but it's hard for the camera to just stare into it. Auto front windows. Memory seats on the front here, power both sides like I said. Does have the original cloth mat here, and then weather mats throughout the whole car. Leather seats are in pretty good shape. You'll see like a little bit of those, like, it's not like an actual crack, it's just like where the crease is from people's pressure over time. And then back seats here, door cords are in really good shape. This is something that I noticed, like there's this white powder like everywhere inside of here. It's on the back of the seats. It's just everywhere in here. That bothers me. We do have some controls and power and stuff here. No heated seats back here. I always pull on these. I like to make sure they're still good. You see more of that white stuff down here. All weather mats with the cloth, or how we like to fabric. We're gonna pause here, go to the other side. All right, passenger side now. We're on the rear, continuing in. More of this white dust, as you can see on the seats. It's crazy. And then we got some like scuffy stuff on the back here. There's no like real damage, but it's, you know, scuffy scratches. This was folded down when I first picked up the car, so I'm not sure if they were moving stuff or whatnot. Weather seals are all in really good shape. Front here, power seat up, down, and it has lumbar, adjustable lumbar, which is really nice. This seat's in pretty good shape, nice and stiff still. You'll see more of those scratches for the trim. Glove box, good shape. You'll see in the engine bay portion, they have the opening for the cabin in there, and you can see that was replaced as well, so it's all really good. And door card here, in really good shape. Trim and everything's nice. This does have like that black wood instead of like the wood look. Honestly, this is my more favorite on these. I'm gonna stop here. All right, so this is your lift gate, rear hatch, storage area, however you like to word it on these guys. So it's not like a hatchback on these SUVs, it's liftgate. So a full-size spare is a steel wheel, so the wheel doesn't match, but the size of the tire is still correct. Has all the stuff you need to do the swap, and then you have a funnel there. These are gas cap-less, so you gotta have that. Does have the little rubber guy for the hitch itself. Factory mounted 7-pin. I did notice on the plastics, like this little knob has been ripped out. It's normally like what holds the net and everything. And then we do have power back here still. And then we're gonna pause here. All right, had a semi pull up and start backing in here at the same time, so bear with me. They had this in backwards, so I put it in, it fits a lot better. But I'll show you here, you can see where they had it in wrong. There's more of that white stuff. It's just everywhere in here, white powder. Watch, it's crazy. The only thing I've ever seen that is like when you leave cars at the body shop for a long time. So it's just all over inside this thing. But liftgate is power. Button over here comes down. It's kind of slow, but it's nice, quiet, doesn't shake or bind up at all. And then this does have the rear backup camera, and you can always tell on these that they have the radar for those. Alright, sorry for the angle here. The sun's kind of fighting the reflection. I just want to make sure you can see this screen. We always start here. We want to make sure the VIN matches in the computer with what's on the car itself. We always check our monitors here. We want to make sure we get a bunch of green checks. That's good. A lot of these gray circles are going to be like redundancies nowadays, so they have a lot of stuff that's kind of one system monitoring several items within it, right? So as long as we don't have any red X's, that's what we like to see. We usually do about a 10-mile drive, highway, all that kind of stuff. Make sure those monitors get a chance to reset while we're driving it. And all checks out good here. We're gonna keep moving on to our codes and the modules. All right, again, so this is gonna be the codes area. So this is gonna be showing if there was any active codes restored, history, any of that. It's all clean and clear. Normally I try to have it list all the modules separately, but for some reason the computer and the car were not trying to share each other's information, so I had to go in, manually input the car, put all the data in. It still pulled the VIN correctly and everything, and then it was able to scan everything, but it just didn't show me all the modules for some reason. Kind of an odd communication thing, but it was still letting me scan it, so it was kind of weird. Car didn't give me any behavioral issues or anything like that. We have no lights on the dash or any kind of weirdness there. That could just be either like securities on these newer cars, or no, because I do newer cars. I'm not sure why it didn't let me in. But I did get this scan and everything, going through the monitors. Everything looked good here. We're gonna keep moving forward on our inspection. All right, we're gonna go through our quick conclusion here. I'd just like to touch base on everything that was gone through while we're at this. Overall, plenty of power, drives really good, gets up and goes. These Hemis are great in these. The steering, at least when I first picked it up, I made sure tire pressures were all good and everything. It's not that. It has a pretty good pull to the right, kind of persists. Highway speeds, it's not as bad, but in the parking lot you can really feel it kind of fighting you a little bit. Gets a little heavy. You did have notes about the dent in the hood. It's still there, you can even see it from here. Some chips and stuff in the front here. I believe it was towed. I think there was some notes about a flat ground tow, so not too bad from being behind. A lot of our stuff in this area we get beat up from traffic, and just our roads are just not kept very well over here, I would say. Glass and everything's in really good shape. Black leather interior is really good. Tires are really good. I really am a fan of these tires. My only real gripe on this car is there is white dust everywhere inside this thing. I mentioned it a few times. I kind of beat the drum a bit. It's everywhere in here. It's in the carpet, it's on the seats, it's on the leather, it's in the door cards. There's white dust everywhere in this thing. But beyond that, and the steering, really good car, really good color. Especially like here in the sun, you can see like a nice cherry to this. It's equipped well. It's got like everything you need, plus some extra stuff and goodies, and nothing really too over dramatic in my opinion. You got normal struts on this guy. It's not an airlift car, so you don't have to worry about that headache. You got some scratches and stuff around the car, but really nothing terrible. The hard thing is some of the scratches are in these plastic bumpers, which isn't as easy to touch up as like metal. And then just some dents, but it's pretty good shape. Just some stuff to talk to them about for sure. I don't know if you were worried about the dents or not, but it's not fixed, even though it says it was, or if that's a different dent. And there's dust in here, and I don't know if you got allergies or what even the dust is. For me and what I'm used to seeing, it looks like it's been sitting next to a body shop with the windows open. That's my only assumption I can make on that. But we're gonna stop here. Inspection's good. Everything checked out great.